The scent of simmering garlic and ginger, the particular perfume of home, fought a losing battle against the chemical lemon of industrial cleaner. Anya stood at the island in her mother's kitchen, her fingers pressing divots into the soft, yielding flesh of the dough for parathas. Each press was a tiny, contained release of frustration. The kitchen, usually a sanctuary of chaotic warmth, felt like a war room. From the dining room, the clatter of plates being arranged too forcefully echoed. Her mother, Lena, was a whirlwind in a silk sari, a storm cloud of meticulous offense. Anya's younger brother, Rohin, was getting married tomorrow, and their grandfather, Dadu, had, against all familial advice and his doctor's murmured concerns, flown 6 hours from Kolkata to be here. "He is 82, Lena had hissed into the phone for weeks, her voice a strained wire. The journey alone, and for what? To be confused, to wander, the wedding is chaos enough. But Dadu had been steadfast, his voice crackling with determined joy over the bad connection. "My only grandson? I will swim the ocean if I have to." He had flown, and he had arrived that morning, slightly rumpled, smelling of airline peanuts and sandalwood, his eyes a little milky but alight. He'd hugged Anya so tightly she felt the bird-like bones of his frame, a familiar, fragile scaffolding. Then he'd presented her mother with a carefully wrapped jar of kasundi, mango mustard, a taste of home Lena could easily buy here. Lena accepted it with a tight smile, the one that didn't reach her eyes. Now the pre-welcome dinner was hours away. 30 relatives were descending, and Lena was in full tactical operation mode. "Anya, come here," Lena commanded, emerging from the dining room. She pointed a stern finger at the long, beautifully dressed table. It glittered with heirloom silver and borrowed crystal. "You see the place cards? Mrs. Basu there, by the centerpiece, Mr. Chatterjee with a view of the garden, the Mehtas together, they're shy." Anya followed her mother's pointing finger, and then she saw it. At the very far end of the table, tucked between her loud college cousin, Vinay, and the discreetly swinging door to the kitchen, right beside the small, polished cabinet that hid the kitchen trash bin, was a place card in her mother's elegant script, Pranab Sharma, Dadu. A cold wave washed over Anya. The spot was the Siberia of the dining table. The chair would be jostled by every server, every family member ducking to scrape a plate. The conversation there was an island, cut off from the main flow. It was where you put the person you had to invite but wished you hadn't. "Ma," Anya said, her voice low, "you can't put Dadu by the trash." Lena's head snapped around. The carefully constructed calm on her face shattered. "Don't you start," she whispered fiercely, grabbing Anya's wrist. Her grip was surprisingly strong. "Do you have any idea the pressure I am under? The log kya kahenge, what will people say if he drops a plate, if he gets lost, if he tells the same story 5 times to Mr. Iyer, who is a senior vice president? This is the safest place. He is close to the kitchen, he can slip away easily. It is considerate." "It's humiliating," Anya shot back, pulling her wrist free. The slap wasn't hard. It was a sharp, stinging tap on her forearm, more a punctuation of fury than an act of violence. But it silenced Anya. The sound seemed to hang in the air between them, next to the scent of lemon and garlic. Lena's eyes were wide, instantly glistening with shock at her own action. She looked from her hand to Anya's face, her mouth working. No sound came out. The hustle of daily life, the million preparations, crystallized into this one awful moment. It was a fracture. Without a word, Anya turned and walked out of the kitchen, past the dining table where her grandfather's name sat in exile. She needed air. She found Dadu on the back porch, sitting in a patch of frail autumn sun. He was meticulously polishing his old brass-handled walking stick. The rhythmic shoosh-shoosh of the cloth was a calming metronome. "The clouds are different here," he said without looking up, his voice a dry leaf rustle. "They move faster, as if they have more important places to be." Anya sat beside him on the step, the cold concrete seeping through her jeans.
She leaned her head on his shoulder, the familiar scratch of his woolen vest against her cheek. She didn't mention the table, she didn't mention the slap, but he knew. He always knew. "Your mother," he said, still polishing, "she is like the monsoon, all build-up, all thunderclouds, but the rain, when it comes, is what makes the flowers grow." He paused. "She is afraid, not of me, of time, of what my sitting in the middle of that table says about her, that she is the daughter of an old man, that she is not as young as she needs to be today." "It's not fair to you," Anya murmured. He chuckled. "Fair? Anya, I flew 6 hours. I saw the curve of the earth from a tiny window. I saw clouds like empires below me. I came for the hug you gave me, for the look on Rohan's face when he sees me in my old wedding sherwani. I did not come for the chair." He patted Anya's hand. "Sometimes, Beta, the seat by the door is the best one. You see everyone come and go." But Anya's heart remained a knot of hurt for him and a bruise of shame from her mother. The dinner was a crescendo of noise and color. The air thickened with the smells of saffron and cumin, perfume and sweat. Laughter crashed like waves. Dadu, in his simple, crisp kuta, was installed in his designated spot. From her seat across the table, Anya watched him. He didn't seem perturbed. He ate slowly, nodding as Vinay monologued about blockchain. He patiently explained the origin of the kosha mangosha to a curious server. When a sack of dirty plates needed clearing, he quietly handed them over without fuss. Lena was the perfect hostess, a shimmering figure refilling drinks, laughing too brightly, her eyes darting everywhere, a general surveying her battlefield. Her gaze skipped over Dadu's corner like it was a no-go zone. Then, during a lull, Great Aunt Sharmila, who was 90 and feared no one, boomed from the head of the table. "Pranab, you old fox, you flew all this way. Tell us, how is your heart?" All eyes turned to the end of the table. Lena froze, a bowl of dal half offered. Dadu daubed his mouth with a napkin. "My heart, Didi," he said, his voice carrying clearly in the sudden quiet. "My heart is confused. It thinks it is still 20 dancing at my own wedding. My knees, however, are sending it very rude memos." A ripple of warm laughter went around. He continued, "But to come here, to see my family grown like a strong banyan tree, it makes the heart ignore the knees." Mr. Iyer, the senior vice president, leaned forward. "It is a long journey at our age, Mr. Sharma. Weren't you nervous?" "The only thing that makes me nervous," Dadu said, his milky eyes twinkling, "is the thought of my granddaughter Anya's driving. The airport road was an adventure." More laughter, this time including Anya, who blushed. "And Kolkata?" asked Mrs. Basu. "How is our city?" And then Dadu began to talk. Not about his health or his age. He spoke of the mishti doi from his favorite shop, how the clay pots tasted of the earth. He described the specific golden light on the Hooghly River at dusk, a color you couldn't find anywhere else. He talked about the sound of rickshawwallas remembering his father. He didn't tell a story 5 times, he told one story perfectly, and he was no longer the old man by the trash. He was a portal. He was a thread connecting this shiny suburban dining room to a humid, teeming, beloved city an ocean away. He was memory, made flesh. The table fell silent, listening. Even the servers lingered in the doorway. Anya saw her mother pause. She was standing by the kitchen door, a tray in her hand. She was looking at her father. And for the first time that day, the frantic energy around her stilled. Her mask of hostess perfection slipped, and for a fleeting second, Anya saw something else. A daughter looking at her father, seeing not the burden, but the storyteller, not the risk, but the anchor.
The moment passed, the noise swelled again, but the atmosphere had shifted. Later, as coffee was served, a cousin's toddler, Avi, escaped his high chair. He wobbled on unsteady legs, a cupcake clutched in a frosting-filled fist, on a mission only he understood. He careened past legs and chairs, heading straight for the dangerous territory of the kitchen door. In a flash, before his mother could even gasp, Dadu's walking stick gently came down, not blocking him, but creating a soft barrier. Avi stopped, intrigued by the shiny brass handle. Dadu leaned over, his voice a soft, conspiratorial whisper. "Careful, Captain. The kitchen is full of dragons who steal cupcakes." Avi giggled, plopped down, and happily smeared frosting onto Dadu's shoe. Dadu just smiled, his hand resting gently on the boy's head. From across the room, Anya saw Lena watching. Her shoulders, which had been held at a military angle all evening, dropped a full inch. The party wound down. Goodbyes were a slow, tangled symphony of shawls and promises. Anya was in the kitchen, sleeves rolled up, attacking the mountain of dishes. The anger had subsided to a dull ache. Lena came in, looking exhausted, her silk sari slightly frayed at the edge. She picked up a towel and began silently drying a plate Anya had just washed. The only sounds were the rush of water and the clink of china. "My hand," Lena said, finally, the words quiet but stark in the quiet kitchen. It stung. Anya said nothing, scrubbing a stubborn bit of turmeric from a pot. "When you were 4, Lena continued, methodically drying the same spot on the plate, "you had a fever, so high. And my father, he took the night train, 12 hours. He arrived at dawn, walked into your room, and placed a bag of green mangoes on your pillow. He said the sour smell would break the fever. It was nonsense, old wives' tale." She put the plate down, picked up another. "But you smiled. Your first smile in 2 days." She took a shaky breath. "He has always been coming, on trains, on planes, bringing silly things. Kasundi, mangoes, himself." Anya turned off the water. The sudden silence was heavy. "I am so afraid of him falling," Lena whispered, the confession tearing out of her. "I am so afraid of the silence after his stories, of what it will mean when he stops coming. So I put him by the door, where it's safe, where the leaving won't disrupt the whole table." The knot in Anya's chest loosened, not gone, but transformed. She saw it then, not her mother's cruelty, but her terror, the terrible, loving desire to corral the inevitable, to manage the unmanageable force of time and loss. The slap wasn't about disrespect. It was the panic of a woman trying to hold a perfect wedding, a perfect home, a perfect, fragile father, all in the air at once. "He didn't come for the chair, Ma," Anya said softly, echoing Dadu's wisdom. "He came for us." Lena nodded, a tear finally escaping, tracing a path through her powder. "I know." Just then, they heard a thump from the living room. A shared jolt of fear shot between them. Had he fallen? And they rushed out. Dadu was standing by the large picture window, his back to them. The room was dark, lit only by the street lamp outside. He was perfectly still, looking out. "Baba?" Lena asked, her voice strangled. He turned. His face was serene, bathed in the soft yellow light. "Look," he said, pointing a bony finger at the sky. They went to the window. There, in the clear, cold, midnight blue sky, was the steady, slow-moving glow of an airplane's landing lights, descending gracefully toward the distant airport. "His jet is landing," Dadu said softly, a smile in his voice. Anya was confused. "Dadu, your jet landed this morning." "Not mine," he said. He put one arm around Anya, and after the briefest hesitation, the other around Lena. Lena leaned into him, her head finding the hollow of his shoulder as naturally as if she were that feverish child again. "That one," he said, nodding at the distant, gliding light, "someone else's grandfather, or a mother coming home to her children, a son returning to his parents. So many stories up there in the dark, all of them landing, all of them coming home." They stood there, the three of them, watching that tiny, hopeful light traverse the sky. The hustle was over. The performance was done. All that was left was this: the quiet kitchen behind them smelling of home and lemon, the warmth of each other in the cool room, and the shared witness of that small, bright journey through the vast night.
The seat by the trash, the sting of a slap, the panic of a daughter, it all receded, absorbed into a larger, more enduring truth. It wasn't about the place you were given at the table. It was about the fact that you had a table and people to gather around it in all their flawed, fearful, loving humanity. It was about the journeys made to get there, across oceans or across town. It was about the resilience required to love as time marched on, and the profound connection forged in the everyday moments of polishing a stick, drying a dish, watching a plane land. Dadu's light had landed that morning, and now, as they stood together, they felt it, the profound, heartwarming belonging of being part of an endless, arriving chain, people flying through the dark, drawn relentlessly toward the warm, lit windows of other people waiting, ready to welcome them in.